Hey everyone, it's Brian Porter. Welcome to our next video. We're going to be diving into push-pull pots. We're going to talk about how to wire one up in your guitar to split your humbucker. Now we're going to go through a couple ways you can do this, and we're going to highlight just one way as a strat bridge position with the volume knob being our split for that humbucker. We'll show you how we wired it and show you some tips. Now there's going to be some discrepancies in color codes for different manufacturers, but we'll show you what we did with our pickup color codes, and we're going to be highlighting the overdrive humbucker with some clean and distorted samples so you can kind of hear how it sounds split, how it sounds full on both clean and distortion. So let's take a closer look at the push-pull pot and we'll show you what we did. Alright, so we're going to start over here on the bench. We've got our trusty shop strat. Currently now we have the push-pull assigned to the volume knob, and that's going to cut this in half, leaving only the screw coil activated. Well, let me show you a simple way to think about approaching it when you're going to wire this. Now you can have this modified to any humbucker guitar as long as it's 4-conductor. So let's take a look at our color codes and how you might consider wiring it up. Alright, so here's a closer look at the push-pull pot, and this is how we wired it. This is the finish wires. So the green and white are the finish wires of our Porter Pickups 4-conductor color code. And if you notice here, it's coming to the middle lug of the push-pull. And then over on this side, hopefully you can see that there in the camera, you can see the ground wire from the bottom lug coming to the ground of the outside of the casing, the metal casing of the push-pull pot itself. So that's all you need to do to set up your humbucker for split. Like we said before, it's activated when you pull it. So that's going to give you that screw coil active on our colors. If you notice here, this is just an example, but I've got the other wires loose. So this red and bare in the case of our pickups is going to be the ground. So that would also go to the same spot as the ground there. And then the black is hot, so that will go to your switch or to your pot depending on how the wiring goes. So the simplest way I like to think of this is think of these two parts as separate. So we have our section up here for the push-pull function. The rest of the pot is going to function exactly like whatever we're trying to do or whatever pot we're trying to replace. So if in the case of this being a volume pot, you're going to wire the bottom portion, almost ignoring this top part, wire the bottom portion as you would a volume knob. So you would have your input from the switch on a strat style, you have your output to the jack in the middle, and this would be grounded to the case over here. So that would be direct replacement for the pot. So think of the 4-conductor or the split wiring as completely separate, and that'll help you kind of separate the two, and you don't really need a wiring diagram in that case because you can just add that on. So if this was a tone pot, we would repeat the same process down here to where the capacitor would come in to the appropriate lug depending on your diagram, be grounded to the outside, and this would become the tone pot for the bottom. So in our case, for the strat that we're demoing, it's the volume pot, so that's kind of what we're explaining here. One last note to make on this too is you see how I've only got it wired on one side of this push-pull. So that would be a single humbucker split. If you want to make this a master split, you're basically going to mirror what you have on this side to what's empty now here. So in that case, if we had another humbucker in this guitar, we would run our green and white or the finish of each side of the coil to this other middle section here, and then we would also ground the bottom here. So we're mirroring that, and then this would become a master split. So when you pull it, both humbuckers are split. If you only have one, then you only need to do one side. There's no need to kind of add the rest of it in there. So that's a really quick primer on kind of how that happens. So now that we showed you how we wired it, let's listen to how it sounds. right, so that was a couple examples of the clean and distorted sounds of this modification we did to the Strat. Now this is included in our deluxe loaded pick guard, so it's already ready to go. If you're looking to buy a full loaded pick guard, this is ready to go. But hopefully this takes a little bit of the mystery out of how you would do this, and hopefully that helps you in pursuing this endless tone quest that we're all on. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video as well. Thanks for watching.